brother.
Let's do it.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Juneteenth. You've reached the Sprout and Dusty Show. I am one of your hosts, Sprout the Anti-Hero, and I'm here live in Parker, Colorado. And the other co-host is Mr. Dusty Great himself. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing? How's your week going so far? Been good?
Man, it's been a good week, man. Very productive. Man, just got to keep the focus and keep the grind on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I'm trying to do this watch party thing. Oh, and I got it. Join the party, people. Hey, if you haven't known about it yet, please, if you are watching the podcast right now, share it to groups. Start a watch party. Make sure that you let your friends know. Share it in your Facebook, and please help us get the word out. We got a big show tonight. We're excited about it. I'm hearing an echo. Is that you?
I have no idea.
Share it in your Facebook, and
I don't know. It's not me. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I thought I had it turned down. I was telling everybody else to turn it down before the show, and then I'm the asshole that still has it turned on.
Well,
usually how it works. What's up, Cal? How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, what's going on,
Shannon?
brother?
Guys,
hey,
interact
Shannon.
with the show. Interact with the show, please. Come onto the Sprout and Dusty Show main page, and interact with the show, guys. We got awesome guests tonight.
Lisa,
you can ask questions. We'll get everybody on the show. There's Blake right there. They're waiting in the waiting in the bullpen right now to come on the show. And as always, the show is sponsored by Big Fish Bail Bonds, Wichita's #1 big fish. If you need help, if you have problems, you get thrown in jail, call 316-262-4100, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jail sucks, guys. So call Big Fish Bail Bonds if you need help.
That's what's up.
So tell me about your week, dude. Anything cool happening? Anything new happening? What's going on?
Well, lately, since things have been reopening back up, I've been going out to eat a little bit. And I'm going to tell you, bro, it's a whole different experience going to like a restaurant now, man. Like, I've never been to a place where salt and pepper was not on the table. Like, napkins aren't even on the tables anymore. I mean, all the papers are menu and disposable, which of course, is a proper precaution, because of what's going on right now. But it was still a comfortable experience in the places that I went. I went to Texas Roadhouse first, I believe, a week ago, and it was just crazy. I'm like, there's no salt. Like where the fuck is the salt? Like, it was just nuts. But I mean, the service was still good. People that work in the food service industry, there's still squirrels trying to get a nut. So, hey, when you go out and the service is good and the food's good, tip them good.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I think I've been out three or four times. I went out to my favorite taco place, Molino's, here in Wichita. We went to George's French Bistro, which is delicious. And then I took the wife and kids to Old Chicago for pizza. The boys wanted pizza. And the weirdest thing for me was there was it was like the glass on the hockey rink on the outside where the guys get checked into the glass.
Yeah,
they've got the plexiglass up between all the tables and all. So it's this very weird. I don't know. It just kind of affects the atmosphere. You're sitting in a bar, but everybody's like isolated and blocked off. It was kind of strange.
Of course, bro. I mean, who wants to sit in a restaurant in a penalty box for 5 minutes for high sticking? Who wants to sit in a place like that?
Did you ever go to the Wichita Thunder games?
Oh man, I am a Wichita Thunder hockey fan. Yeah.
So me and a buddy from work would go when I first moved down here, and we would sit right behind the penalty box. And we'd sit right behind where the opposing teams guys that got thrown in the penalty box, and we just harass them and talk trash to them. Man, we had so much fun at those games. They fight so much at the Thunder games. It's so good.
You know what? I've seen many seasons where my Wichita Thunder may have lost the game, but they always won the motherfucking fifth fight. That's the way.
I mean, that's all you can ask for.
That's all you could ask for. I remember going to see a Wichita Thunder game in Tulsa where they played the Oilers, Tulsa Oilers. And you had good seats behind the bench, the Thunder bench. And of course, I was surrounded by Tulsa fans, and it wasn't none too pretty. But I was bigger than most of them. They didn't really talk too much shit. As long as you talk that shit on the ice instead of me, I'm not gonna knock your teeth out. But I mean, it was a fun time. And too bad my Thunder lost that night. I had to go home and shame, but pride. You know why? Because they won the motherfucking fist.
Well, every time the Thunder play Tulsa, you know there's going to be a scrap. So
you just know, well,
there's at least one. Yes. At least one.
Wichita and Oklahoma City in particular. Because I remember seeing Wichita Thunder games where in the first minute of the first period, whoever was on the ice just started scrapping. And it's probably because they traded teammates, and teammates that didn't like each other when they were on the Thunder together finally got a chance to duke it out. I've heard stories like that, and I've seen fights like that.
Have you ever see those fights where on the ice you'll see when they're getting ready to face off, but the two guys are standing across from each other, and before they even drop the puck, those guys have already looked at each other and agreed. And the second the puck drops, boom, they both throw it in. It's like, I'm not waiting.
All right, cool.
And that's it. And that's it. But
I mean, that's cool. They don't get charged with assault, man. Some of that shit's mean and rotten on the ice. But you know what? That's hockey. Yeah. You know, don't play the game if you ain't tough enough, man. I mean, I tell people that all the time when they're like, I want to play hockey. I'm like, I don't think you do that shit, you know? Like, I mean, you got to be a special motherfucker to go out there and take that kind of abuse every night, you know?
Can you ice skate?
I went ice skating twice. Let's just say if
I would love to see you ice skate. I would love it.
Let's just say if my ice skating adventures were a ballet, it'd be called When Darkness Falls. That's exactly what me ice skating. Seriously, man, you know, like I had fun. I had rollerblades as a kid, and I grew up with a guy I sat next to in science class. His name was Justin Gathers, and he was the only hockey playing kid that I knew. And so seeing as that there weren't very many ice rinks in Wichita at the time, it was all roller hockey. And so he was the kind of person that was excited to talk about hockey and ice skating and stuff. He asked me if I ice skated, and at that time I was like, no, man, there ain't no ice rinks in the hood.
Where did I go?
Well, they eventually built a place, you know.
Yeah.
And after Thunder games, there were free skates and things like that.
I had a couple buddies that played hockey, and they were both friends, and they both played on different teams. Mm-hmm. But I remember watching them play a game, and one of my buddies has since passed, RIP. But they were friends. But then they got on the ice, and I remember one of my buddies turning around and my other buddy going up behind him, and the refs were all turned. So my buddy just high stuck him right in the back of the leg, took him down, started a fight. I mean, the team just beat the break. The team just beat the brakes off of each other all night long, and then after the game, it's over. It was like the game didn't even happen. I see we got a lot of the equals. We're going to be talking about the equals tonight. We have some special guys on here. They're going to be coming up shortly. You guys, if you haven't done so, please share this. Please do. Share it to your groups. Start watch parties. It really helps get the numbers up. Really helps everybody get the word out. Helps our sponsors. It's going to help us. It helps our guests. It's good for everybody. The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
And don't forget, you know, Saul will be on the show here in about a minute and 20 seconds. Yes. So like, don't be afraid to send questions. And one lucky viewer may be, if you guys got video and audio, may be featured here tonight on the show to ask a question yourself. So, you know, the show's great. The more you interact, the more we get hyped, and vice versa.
Yeah, everything you give to us, we'll give it back to you. We've been working hard to bring you guys good guests. We feel like we've delivered on that so far. Tonight's no exception. I've been listening to this band a ton over the last year, or even over that, and I know I'm not the only one. I've been watching them just ascend and grow, and to see someone that you know that's a good person elevate to the next level. It kind of gives you faith, kind of gives you man. It gives you some encouragement. You're like, oh, you know what? Nice guys can make it. So
for sure, man. You know, that goes a long way in this industry. There's always a time to be a jerk, and there's always a time to be a professional, for sure. And you know, the better you are as a person and the better you handle business, it's just a reflection on who you are and what you do. But anyway, without further ado, I would like to introduce our next guest,
the almighty
Saul. I love it.
I love it. Hold on, one more again from to the cheap seats.
We're getting high tech on here. Episode 5, baby. We're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
I wish I could say we had a bigger budget for that, but we had to do some improvising.
Super high tech, man. It's insane.
It's super cool. I loved it.
Yeah, so me too. You're welcome.
Blake and Zach, what's going on with you guys? How's everything been going for you guys these days?
Good, man. Just starting to pick up, so we're actually feeling really good right now. So that's cool.
I would be feeling good too if my town just named a day after me.
No shit.
Why don't you? I just watched your live stream, Blake. You guys are a big deal. You guys have your own day now in what is the name of the town?
Sutherland, Iowa.
Sutherland, Iowa, and you're gonna have
wait, I take that Sutherland.
Sutherland, Iowa. Are they gonna change that too?
They must. They have to now, I guess.
If you guys keep going, they might.
For sure, man.
Keep going.
We just had a meeting with the mayor about a festival that we're putting on in the town. And so she was like, as long as you don't hang the banners up over the city signs, we'll be cool with what you guys do. Like, hey, I said no promises, but I can't get you.
Yeah, like that was the one thing we really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Can we just please cover up the city limit sign just for like 2 hours, please?
Yeah. Right. I told Zach we're gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna bolt that thing like gorilla glue it.
Well, I mean, from what I heard from the live stream, you guys have some other bands coming from the area, and you're doing it for a good cause. So if you did that, do you think that they would really arrest you guys and throw you in jail if you're the headliner for the fundraiser? I mean, I feel like you guys have pretty good leverage to hang your banners wherever the hell you want. The night that you have Saul Smash, or what are you guys going to call that thing? You guys got to come up with a really badass, like pro wrestling, huge name for that festival.
Oh, there was somebody said something earlier that was really cool.
I saw it, and I'm having the biggest brain fart right now. I'm trying to recall it.
Same. I'm like that.
My head a lot. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was something like Saul Slam or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it reminded me of like a pro wrestling event.
Well, speaking of which, your introduction here, I felt I should have fog and come walking out from somewhere. I just come on. You know what I'm saying?
You would have been absolutely welcome to do that. This is a pretty laid back show so far.
Very.
Like you'd have to take your hat off and flip your hair back though.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, me and you, Blake. These guys think these bald jokes are so funny.
I know.
All these guys with all these cool haircuts, dyeing their hair, flopping their shit around.
Man, I ain't combed my hair in years, bro.
It's harder for guys like us to look cool trying to headbang or rock out. It's harder to look cool.
Why is it hard? Why can't you look cool while you're bald head? I've done it for years.
Bald lives matter.
See, okay. This is why. This is why it's weird, because when you're headbanging live and you get a picture, it's just your head here or here or here. You have no reference of hair going. You just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, he's going.
I have pictures of the long dread days. Yes, long dreadlock days.
When you've got like the flop thing, working for you. That shit looks cool. You can use that as a Facebook profile picture.
Right.
Like for you've got to be selective because you're like, you got your foot on the monitor, you're raging, but it's like. Just doesn't look that good.
I mean, for me, like when I was bald and performing on stage, my face was scary enough. They weren't going to look at my hair or lack thereof. I mean, like, man, that's an ugly, scary motherfucker on the stage. Like, what the fuck? Man, it's all right, you know.
So what's new with Saul? You guys are done recording? Did I hear that correctly? I think I watched you guys on the Ether podcast. Are you finished recording?
We are
officially done.
Just got done with everything, and it's super awesome. I'm happy to be done, but I'm happy that So we got a call from the label, and they're like, "Go back in, do a couple more songs while all this COVID stuff's going on." And we did 3 more songs, and I'm glad we did because the very last song that we did is going to be our new single.
Yep.
So you guys will because you guys okay. So if I'm following the chronology of what's happened here, you had Brother, which took off obviously, and then you guys released Trial by Fire. And were you in the middle of kind of the promotion cycle for Trial by Fire when the COVID thing hit? Am I following that timeline, or were you towards the end of it?
It was
go for it.
Okay. I think it was. We were actually gearing up to release the record right around towards the end of the life of Trial by Fire.
Right.
Okay.
And then when it all the COVID and everything started, and then we were just like, pull the plug, because we didn't know how it was going to go, and it was new to everybody, So
right.
It was a thing.
Yeah. I mean that. I know I ran into that situation too, where I had a little bit of momentum going with my stuff that I'm working on, and then all of a sudden everything stops. But I've noticed that you guys have had a very good, you guys have kept up really well with the content on social media and staying engaged with your fan base and promoting your project and really.
When that's hard to do for a lot of bands.
Who's the mastermind behind that? Do you guys all kind of brainstorm that yourself? It's all you probably. You write all the music, you do all the promotion, you do all the booking, all the production, all the mixing, mastering, driving, booking of hotel rooms, picking
the
out
butcher, the baker, the
chief
chief rum shaker, the master.
Do you guys have like a plan? I mean, do you kind of put your heads together for that type of stuff? Because I know as someone that enjoys what you guys have been doing and following what you guys have been doing, it's something that has made you guys stand out to me. Just seeing that you guys have really put a focus on that to stay connected and let people kind of get to know you guys and to get involved in other types of projects and stuff like that. I mean that it's obviously part of your strategy. I was just curious, do you guys come up with all these ideas? Like I saw the horse thing with Willie. You guys have just had some really, the Netflix hangouts. You guys have had some really cool stuff. So are you guys masterminding all that stuff yourselves? Is that something the label's encouraging you to do? How does that all work?
I think management and label are definitely encouraging us to try to stay active on social media. Because it's the only platform we have anymore. There's no stage. There's no nothing. So I think we all kind of collaborated and brought our minds together. Like it was simple things. Like Will brought up the idea of that horse thing. I had the idea of like the Monday meetings. Zach was actually approached by some of his endorsement companies of doing videos for them. So it's like, it's a team effort, and I think everybody's just was trying to pick up the pieces at the time. So,
so who's the technical mastermind? Because I don't know how to do the stuff that I don't know how to do the stuff that you guys are doing, but I know the stuff that you guys are doing requires some technical skill because I can't do it myself. But who's the mastermind? Who's the technical mastermind that sets up the live streaming, the lights, all that amazing production work that you guys have? Yeah. Do you guys all work together on that? Do you have someone that does that, or is that something you guys as a band do?
We have taken the time to actually learn and figure this stuff out. When I say we, I say Zach.
So there it is.
Yeah. Everything, like I couldn't even hook up my mic today because I'm on a different platform. So I'm running off the Max mic. Zach handles everything technical, and which a shout out to Miles too, because bringing Miles in on drums, he's also really good at that stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed his personal stuff. He's a content machine too. So I mean, that's just another feather in your cap, man. You guys just
I got to interject and just tell you you guys have some awesome fans, man. Look at these comments, man. You got some really awesome fans, man.
Absolutely.
That's paramount and important for any hardworking band, man. I enjoy watching your fan base come together.
Oh yeah, the equals, man. So like when we're getting ready to release the new single, it's actually coming up. I can't say a date, but it's coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, and awesome.
At that point, we don't call them the equals anymore. It's Release the Hounds,
dude.
Because they're savage, dude. I love it. I love it. They are completely savage when it comes to the octane requests, the Like one of our local stations where Will is from. Zach, help me out here.
1041 The Blaze.
The Blaze out of Lincoln, Nebraska. And like they were like, oh, we'll play it sometimes kind of thing. Oh no, our fans didn't want to hear that. And then all of a sudden we're getting calls from our radio team going like, you got to call off the Hounds. They're killing them. I'm like, hey, that's where they messed up, man. They messed with the Equals and like
release the Hounds.
Well, I mean, I've been watching I'm an Equal. I stay in there and I tweet when I see it, or if I hear it on the radio, I'll always send a picture in. And I know, like, just following some of my other friends that have made it to those levels, you know that those things are important. But you see a lot of bands out there that they don't seem to have this devoted, rabid fan base that you guys have. It's like you guys have an army and it's a family. And I mean, I've became friends personally with a few people from the group. Joe, he manages the group. He's an amazing guy. He and I have become friends where we chat personally, and I've just met so many cool people in there. And I think that's a testament that, you guys are doing things the right way. It doesn't say, I don't think if you were slitting people's throat or stepping on people on your way up, that you would have that type of a fan base, because you do see bands that their numbers might be larger than yours, but they don't have anywhere near the engaged, the dedication from the fans and the humble, real pure, genuine support. And I think that's
for real, Dusty, because fans can spot a damn phony.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, know, you got to keep it 100. Saul does that, man. They deliver.
I don't know how we got so lucky. We're so blessed. So I was just watching Garth Brooks documentary on Netflix last night.
I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's amazing.
Oh man,
I heard it's pretty good.
He's got so many good quotes, and one thing that caught me is he's a religious guy. I'm not that religious, but he was talking about the dedicated. He said, I can't even call them fans. They're like blessings. They're angels that helped elevate me to get to that point. And it's like that with the Equals. Like Equals almost isn't even a good enough word for these people.
Right. Yeah, they're like your family.
Yeah.
And and every time I talk about them, I say the Equals, but it's more like brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers. That's the way I feel about it. And like we go on the road, we have like road moms, and like it's like they take care of us, man.
Yeah.
Like
the first time I went on the road with Sprout, and it's a testament. It's a testament to what he does too. But I met you guys. I don't know. It was 2013-ish at the Elbow Room. And I know we've stayed in contact on a limited basis, but I've been watching along and following along, and like a lot of people that didn't know you before Brother really pounded it don't know that you guys pounded it out. I mean, you guys did it the hard way. You guys went out there and you earned them one by one. I watched you guys tour. You were an act that I was watching as an independent act going, oh wow. But I went on the road with Sprout, and he has a similar thing. A lot of the people that I met that were friends of Sprouts on the road just automatically took me in like I was one of their own. You can stay here. I'll feed you. I'll take care of you. You're not feeling well. I'll get you stuff. They just want to see you make it, and they just love you. But you've got to treat them good. So absolutely. Clearly, you guys do that. It was apparent to me when we were on the roads that Sprout does that too. And awesome. I mean, it's awesome.
Literally like lifetime bonds, man. It's like I've seen many of these people for almost 20 years.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's how you keep the family ties going. I know I'm a lifer as a musician, no matter what. And so it's important, that if they are good people, to keep those people in your life, and they really appreciate your art, and you always give back to them for that. Because I've always said I ain't making it by my goddamn self.
Right. Even if you're solo, man, you can't make. You can't make it by your damn self.
No. That's exactly right. That's exactly why. When did we come up with that term Equals, Zach, for our fans? 2013.
Yeah, with our EP, The Touching of Parallels.
Because I have a lyric in there. It's the very first lyric of the song The Touching of Parallels. It's rising as equals. Is my very first line. So that whole thing stemmed everything we thought about the music industry, the fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
So because it's rising as equals, like closer than brothers, closer than enemies. You know, this whole thing, man. It's like
Right.
So that's what the whole thing, the touching of parallels, us and our fans and everybody kind of coming together. And I tell you what, man, the equals are a lot stronger than we are as four people, as even the band,
For sure.
because they want shit to happen. They'll fucking make it happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all their voices
They will.
together. They're even if they're just doing messages. I mean, you get 50 of those a day. Like, back up.
You've got to feel so fortunate in that situation, and the small handful of diehard people that enjoy my music, they're my friends. I don't think of them as fans or anything. They're my friends. I have a very small group, but those people are ride or die. I know I got at least 5 shares if I got something new coming out. Right? You know what I mean?
That's all that matters.
And if I can grab it to 6 and make it 7 and make it 8 and just continue to make it go up, I don't care what it is as long as I'm growing and surrounding myself with good people. And I think that's what you guys have done. And it's probably why you've been so successful. Just being good people, because you guys have always been nothing but genuine to me, and we're grateful that you came on the show tonight.
You know,
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
As far as your beginnings and your philosophies on how you carry your band, how paramount is decision making?
Huge.
Everything.
It's everything. Yeah.
I know some youngsters that need to hear this, so go ahead.
What do you mean as far as what decisions?
Well, anything, because anything could happen to come at a band at any time, especially if they're putting in toward the work. You know what I'm saying? And so you might be faced with some options that may sound good and that some options that may sound sketchy, or you know the direction you're wanting to go, but you don't know the best way to get there, but there are these options in front of you. How paramount do you think due diligence is towards your decision making?
Okay, I'd say even in a situation like this. We went out to Seattle. Zach and I went out to Seattle and wrote a record and recorded it, and we're going to release it. And we spent thousands of dollars on this thing. Working with a guy that worked on the Sap and Wood album from Alice in Chains. He worked on Pearl Jam 10 album. It didn't turn out. So we're like, either we lose this thousands of dollars or we put out a record we're not happy with. And Zach and I were like, lose the money. Yep. Don't put out something we're not happy with, because
absolutely.
I think honestly, you have to feel good about yourself and what you're putting out. And like, would I listen to this? Would I jam this? Is this going in my stereo?
Right. For real. Are people going to fuck with this? Yeah.
Right. Or, you know, even on a positive level, you know, like we try to like say positive things in our lyrics most of the time. All the time. I'd say 100% of the time, it's usually try to be on a positive level, or talking about something real. And so on a decision aspect, you got to look at yourself and say, do I want to be remembered for this?
Yeah. And this is what my legacy is going to be.
Is this what I want my legacy? Do I want to talk about, I mean, I'll drink some booze and smoke and do all that stuff, but am I going to sing about it? And am I going to sing about whatever? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's no shortage of bands and artists and musicians that are telling people to go out there and get fucked up. You know, there's no shortage of that.
Right. You know, I don't think personally, I think we have too much to say on a personal level that we talk about that.
I like that.
So did those songs, when that didn't work out, when you said it didn't pan out after you recorded with that guy, so did those songs just completely disappear? Did you go back to the drawing board with those songs, retool them, rewrite them, re-record, did you scrap them and say, hey, we need to write better songs? How did that process look? What did they, when you're making that decision, what's that process look like? You know,
we had one song that completely surfaced from it. If any equals remember back in the day, it was called Dayfly. Old song, dude.
We gave it away for free on Reverb Nation.
Nice.
We actually shot the music video with. Do you remember Jeremy Twist?
Yes.
Okay. So it was Friday's Waiting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
At Juana's and Jeremy's, we found an old shed out
Out in Hayes.
Yeah.
His dad.
Yeah, and that's where we shot the music video for that.
With the guy Corey Fry.
Richard Hoffman. Didn't he do your makeup?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, hey, Rich is tuning in. He did my makeup. He did the whole thing. I still have pictures from it. Yeah.
There he is. There's Richard Hoffman now.
What's really funny about that is we for some reason booked a show that night in the middle of doing this music video. So Blake had all this crazy ass makeup on, dude. He looks scarier than like Manson, dude. I'm telling you. So we go do this show, and then there's this older gentleman drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette, holding the door open for people coming in and out. And he looks at Blake and he's like, "Oh fuck no, dude, I'm out of here."
He's jetted, dude. He left. He fucking left, dude.
You're not man enough to handle this shit tonight anyway.
He can't deal, man. He can't hang.
It was awesome. But going back to that, actually, the song "Touching the Parallels" was skeleton to one of the songs that was supposed to be on that record.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So we did the Touching of Parallels. We rewrote off a song we called 3. And then we actually came back and rewrote and reworked a song called Motives.
Yep.
And that's what we put on that record, on the Touching of Parallels.
So where did you guys? So you had Touching the Parallels, and then was the Eons EP after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm making sure that I have the chronology correct there. I thought when I met you, it was during the Touching of Parallels. You guys were like wrapping a tour on that.
Yep.
On that cycle or something like that.
I believe so.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still
audience.
had hair. I had hair in those pictures.
Yes,
everybody in the audience, don't be afraid to ask Saul questions, please. Oh yeah, I know, Jerry. We smoke plenty of weed. But look, any of the fans out there that want to ask Saul some questions, any equals out there that want to ask their favorite people some questions, please throw them at them. We'll get to as many as we can. And don't forget to share this podcast. Don't forget to start your watch parties a little late. I don't care how late they are. Just start them. And ladies and gentlemen, we got Saul with us in the house tonight.
So something that I always wonder, like when I see, especially someone that I know and that I've been watching, what is the catalyst to taking the next step? Like you guys were clearly doing well regionally on your own as an independent act. I mean, you were doing well. I mean, I consider anyone that can consistently tour, record, and continue to promote their art as making it. But we all know there's different levels to making it, right? I think I'm making it when I drive around and play for 20 people in a dive bar. For me,
right.
I love to
me
play.
too.
I love to play music, and if I play for 20 this time and 21 next time, that's all. That's all.
That's a win.
And I know that you guys had that mentality when you were touring that hard. Was there a certain decision that you made or something that happened where it was like, boom, all of a sudden you're on this next level. All of a sudden you're getting this interest. All of a sudden you have producers and record labels and all. I mean, I know the Brother Radio success was.
Yep. It was 3 things.
Okay.
It was, we had a really bad experience at a show one time, and we got into kind of like an argument because we heard things that we didn't like. We actually turned around and wrote "I Am Him" about it off of the Eons record, and then we decided to. Blake kept talking about up in our stage show, going from a 3-piece into a 4-piece. So that's when we decided Blake would step down and only do vocals because we were 3-piece. He would play bass as well, right?
I remember.
Yeah. Right.
And then we got Will in. So we decided to amp the live show, and then we started diving into light production. And it was like we're trying to do a whole package. And then probably the most
production.
Probably the most important piece to this pie is Chris Dawson.
Yeah.
Chris,
he's a wizard.
The legendary.
Yeah,
because we got in contact with Chris from Jared Rule right there in Wichita. Black Box Warning, Dave Rule. I love Signum AD and those guys when they were all together. I love Black Box Warning. So he kind of got us in contact with Dawson. But Zach and I had a conversation because we had the EP written and recorded, and we talked to each other. We said, this is our last hoorah. If this doesn't take it to the next level, we're going to call it quits, and we're just going to get jobs and be dads, and you know what I mean, do the thing.
Right.
So Chris got his hands on it and remixed, remastered, did the whole bit, what he does that he's very, very good at. And then he's like, let me run with it a little bit. If it's your last hurrah, I'll just kind of put it in some hands and see what happens to it. And he did, and it blew up. So that's kind of where we're at. We kind of owe a lot to Chris because he's, one, an amazing dude, two, really good at his job. And if I have a question about anything that maybe he even doesn't know, that son of a bitch will research it.
He knows somebody
and
or he'll figure it out. Yeah.
He knows
fuck it. Let's show Dawson some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawson. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That guy's, he's a madman.
Much love to you, Chris Dawson. Much love.
So that happens, and then you take him on as your manager. It catches fire. You catch fire with Brother at the Radio. With Sirius XM, it's the #1 song. All the accolades that came along with that, and you guys have had the success. You guys have had the success that you've got now. Obviously, having somebody in the know that helps you, that can help you take your music to the next level helps. But do you feel like had something like this happened for you, say 5 years ago, when you were a little less mature, do you feel like you would have been prepared for this type of opportunity to fully capitalize on it as a younger man? I've always wondered, you see bands making it, and a lot of times the guys that are making it are a little older because it seems like they've gotten some stuff out of their system as young men, and they understand that it is a business. It is a hustle.
I agree with all that for the simple fact that I believe I've told Dusty myself that had I got all the opportunities that I have now 20 years ago, I would have fucked it up.
Right.
Because I know me,
that's exactly what I'm at. I mean, that's exactly what I'm asking to be more blunt about it. Do you feel like you would have been prepared for all this to capitalize fully? If you're younger, because I know if I had any opportunities like you guys have had when I was 25, I'd have burned out in 6 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't have understood it. I wouldn't have understood the magnitude of what it is. And I think I would. Do you guys feel like your maturity and your experience is? I mean, you've earned it. You didn't get lucky. I mean, I don't look at you guys as these guys that had one flash in the pan and you got lucky. You guys have been doing it for years and years and years.
Right.
So do you feel like you would have been able to handle it when you were younger?
I'm gonna say no, because as hard as fucked up, uncomfortable opportunities, we've seen the darkest sides of the music business, and I think we needed to to really mold us into what we are. And the fact, I was almost 30 years old when I had my son. So, and that completely changed my aspect on who I am as a person and made me grow. And if it would have been before that, I probably would have went down the dumbass alcoholic, drug-induced, just blown up at the bottom.
Right.
But now I'm not only doing it for, me and the band and the business and growing because this is what I love, but in the back of my mind, every day I'm on tour, I'm thinking about my family and what I could do to better home situation.
Absolutely. I've noticed that I haven't been on the road nearly as much as any of the other three people on this screen right now. I haven't. I've been on the road quite a bit in the last couple of years, and I've just been cutting my teeth. I'm a little bit older. I got a wife and a family and all that type of stuff. So when I'm out there and I play a show on a Saturday night, I do have to have that in mind. On Saturday morning, man, I'm not going on Sunday morning. I'm not going to the next city. I'm going home. I'm taking care of my twins, and I'm working fucking 11-hour day Monday, and that's it.
Yeah, look at it this way, Dusty. I mean,
doing rails off of
you can't sit here and say you've done less either. You can't sit here and say you've done less either because you're doing more than most.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go out there every weekend, knowing that you have a family, remembering all that, and knowing you have to go back home, that's the same life we have to live, whether we're out 2 days or 2 months.
Right.
I mean, you're in. I wouldn't even trip if I were you, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not tripping. I just know that if I was doing this, even though I have had to work hard and I do a lot of the stuff myself, I've had guidance from guys like Dawson too, guys like Sprout. Watch my friends that have been doing it longer and guide me to help me do the thing. But I know that if I was doing what I'm doing now 10 years ago, there's no way I would have fucking screwed it up, and I wouldn't have been true to the music, and I wouldn't have put in the work required, the rehearsal and the stuff. Everyone
Discipline.
The shows are the fun. The shows are the fun part. It's everything else around the shows. It's all the work that I think sometimes people forget about that. And I don't think I would have been equipped to handle the workload.
No, I know for a fact I wouldn't have. I know for a fact. I had my daughter at 20, and yeah, there's no way. If I would have got it 5 years ago, at 25 or whatever, I wouldn't have. I would have been a wreck. I would have been a wreck. I know. Yeah.
That. Okay. So, what's the biggest difference that you guys have noticed since you guys signed with Spine Farm? For the people listening that aren't familiar with Saul, they just got a deal with Spine Farm Records, a major deal. You're on a label with some pretty heavy hitters. How has life changed from being independent artists to being a major label artist? I mean, it's we can sit here and tiptoe around it, but that is what it is. And if I'm asking you guys anything that makes me feel uncomfortable or anything, these are just things I'm curious about.
Right. Actually, I can answer honestly. Like, nothing's really changed with us, because we still have Dawson, which when we signed was like, hey, we're keeping our manager.
That was like line one.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
good loyalty.
We're keeping our radio team. We really want our radio team that helped us, because we do believe in loyalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So I talk to Dawson 5 times a day, either on phone or on Messenger. And it's like, nothing's really changed. Like, I still don't even see the success yet, me personally, especially being home for so long, and it's
you had all these big you guys had all these big tours and stuff planned, and to kind of go out there and push the album and this radio push and this fucking huge juggernaut, when you that's probably when you're going to feel it. You're probably in a phase right now where maybe you haven't felt that yet, because it was like you guys kind of almost got blue balled, the way it feels to me.
For real.
You're like,
COVID. This close. Yeah.
So I guess I guess I didn't even think about that. You're probably in a period where you haven't necessarily felt that push. Does that label try to put their thumb on you, or they let you be pretty free creatively? You hear all these stories as an independent artist and not knowing how that stuff works or the truth about it. You hear about all these evil record labels controlling what you do and stealing the music from you and all that type of stuff. Have you guys experienced any of that?
The cool thing, go ahead, Blake.
Well, I was going to say, one of the best parts about the contract we signed and that they brought up right away is Saul as an entity, we have 100% creative control on everything.
Beautiful.
So that is from the artwork to the songs to whatever, the band photos, to the logos, whatever we use, we have 100% creative control. So I think that kind of puts us in a position to where we don't feel like we have lost or gained anything, as far, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that in a really good way. To where it's still like Zach and I are running the business, so I feel really good about that.
So is that from your peers and from the people that you've met along your travels, and as you meet these other artists that are on these labels, do you find that their situations are similar to that of yours, or do you have some people going, man, I wish we weren't on this fucking label? Do you hear any of that?
I personally have not. I don't want to ask those questions because I'm happy where I'm at.
Understood.
So I don't want to hear if they're mad about what's going on or anything, because then I'm going hey man, my shit's cake, but
I don't want to listen to
your business with people ain't somebody else's business with people. Bottom line, I mean,
right. I might like him or whatever. It don't matter. It don't matter how it goes, So it's it's yeah, I don't like asking those questions.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm just curious, like, if you'd heard it, because I know if I was malcontent and I was on the road for 60 days and I hated my label and I felt like they were shitting on me and controlling my creative freedom, I would probably, whether you asked me or not, when we were talking at the venue, I'd probably be like, yo, Blake, I hate this shit, yo.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
And then you're looking at Zach and you're giving him the look to be like, save me.
Right.
Get me out of here.
About the only time
the
only time you'll hear me really bitch on the road is when we have a 9 or 10 hour, 11-hour drive. We have to be there at 11 a.m. for a radio interview, have another radio interview at 1, and then have the show that night. It's like, I'm tired. I'm done with it. So
done that.
That's about where I'm at.
The funny thing about Blake,
I'm super happy about it, but I'm tired at the same time.
Blake can't sleep in the van.
I can't.
I wouldn't be able to either. I'd be right there with you.
I'm 6'7", and I've slept in the van plenty of times.
Sprout can sleep anywhere.
I can sleep
anywhere.
Lucky motherfucker.
The van has to be
poor life, baby. Anywhere.
I can't sleep in a moving vehicle.
I can't either.
Okay.
Airplanes, cars, nothing. Nope. I can't. Like we flew to Brazil, and on the way back from Brazil, like my legs were so swollen from eating all the salt and all the shit down there and walking around on the beach. And it was like an 11-hour flight, and I just had these sausages for legs, and I'm like trying to sleep in that chair. The worst fucking 11 hours of my life. I mean, it was worth it. The trip was worth it, but I'm like, man, I need to get these things drained.
Oh man,
not one minute of sleep. My wife's like, have you slept? I'm like, no, I've been watching movies for fucking 11 hours.
Yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't think. What's the longest run you guys have ever been out on?
30 days.
30 days.
Mm-hmm.
You were planning to do a run with Hell Yeah, is that right?
Right.
Yeah, it was a run with Otherwise first, a 3-week run.
Good guys.
Right.
And then a run with Hell Yeah. Altogether, it was going to be a 70-day run.
70-day run. Yeah. You guys were probably just chomping at the bit for that, though, weren't you? You guys were excited to get the fuck out there and showboat this new record, because I know you guys have been like almost coy about the record. You've been a little bit. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of sneak peeks. There hasn't been a lot of leaked Instagram story videos of computer screens playing the new stuff off the record. It kind of, like Dawson's saying right there, it kind of does feel like
before the storm.
It kind of does feel like the calm before the storm, like you guys seem to be so confident that with the new material that you're going to put out that you don't really have to say much. You feel like it will speak for itself, huh?
Honestly, go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach. Back to you, Blake. Hey,
back to you.
Hey, can you cut Zach off? Can you get Zach off here, Derek?
That was
cut him
poetic,
off.
dude.
Cut him off. That's really deep, Zach. Thanks, bro.
Honestly, if you like anything from the Eons record or anything before, this is by far outweighs it by 1,000 pounds, man, because this is the best music we've written, and we got to work with some of the best people in the industry. I mean, I'm so excited about this new record. It's crazy. In fact, I was so excited. I was shaving my beard and stuff the other day that it was like, you guys saw like the movie like Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
I think about the part like where he's driving the little car. He's driving along. I'm buzzing along. My daughter's yelling from the living room, "I got to go to the bathroom, Daddy." Oh
not now, damn it!
I just shaved the whole thing off.
I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy.
Damn it!
You guys,
oh, dude, I love it. Not now, damn it!
Here comes the bee wagon. New guys in the car.
Oh
my God!
Oh yeah.
This is the buffoonery of the Sprout and Dusty show, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to have Saul with us tonight, man. Man.
Thank you to Big Fish Bail Bonds for sponsoring the show. We got to take care of business a little bit here. Big Fish has been with us since episode 1. This is now episode 5. They've allowed us to have this production where we can bring cool guests on, have them tell you all their stories and all that type of stuff. So what else is going on with Saul? John Casta wants to know how the Acoustic Brother video is coming along. I love the acoustic version.
Okay.
It is good. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much. And actually, we just got one of the final. Well, we got a draft back. What was it, today or yesterday, Zach?
Yesterday.
Yeah, we got a draft back yesterday. Absolutely loved it. Of course, everybody's heads together. We just made some revisions, so I think that should be back very, very, very shortly. And we'll be making an announcement about getting that out too, because I freaking loved it, man. I seriously got teary-eyed watching it. So
yeah, me too.
It was awesome.
So is that going to be something that's probably just going to kind of bridge the gap for you guys content-wise, something to push until the record comes? Or I know you can't say when we're going to get the single. I just want to. All I've been wanting to ask this whole 50 minutes and 42 seconds is when am I going to hear? So are you guys sending out the single, any advance copies to any media people? Like the Sprout and Dusty show, we're this huge media presence, and we feel like you guys should be sending us, your label should be sending us sneak peeks. You know,
we're somebody you should take seriously.
We've got this huge reach. I mean, we can't even get a taste. I mean, come on, Spine Farm. You're not we're not even on their radar. What's up with that?
I told him 1,000 times there's these 2 guys that you got to get with. So, yeah.
I know where Dawson lives too. I'm going over there.
Right, yeah.
I know he doesn't want me. I know he doesn't want me coming over there, but I know where he lives. Unfortunately for him, I'm gonna go over there and put the arm on him, see if I can hear a sneak peek.
Yeah,
you might be able to if you sneak over to his house. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't let me in. He's probably got some technology where he can see who's at the door or something. So he's like down in the studio with his little mastermind shit clicking around.
Shit, it's dusty.
Shoot the laser out of the fucking light above.
Yeah.
He's just friends with me for my previews.
He is a lot like Groot, you know.
He just buzzes me out and I fall into a pit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
That is a fact.
So the new album is done. Are the tours booked? Do you guys have 5 performances ready, or is that all still on hold?
We do. We will be in Racine, Wisconsin. Zach, what is that town?
Ringgold,
Wisconsin.
Q&Z Event Center. Yes, I've played there a few times myself. Yeah.
Yep. We'll be there with Nonpoint. It's going to be awesome. We still have Rebel Rock with Monster Rock or Monster Energy Drink in Orlando. Zach. Riverfest in Madison, Iowa. We have
the Back Bar
with JJO Presents.
That's all. And this stuff.
Why am I talking, Zach?
This stuff is all stuff. Zach, hey, Derek, put Zach back on screen. We need him again.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Zach. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back to the show.
I had a pretty good time in time out.
So, and those are all gigs from those are all this year. Before these are all 2020 gigs that you have.
Yes.
Oh, cool. So all the otherwise and the Hell Yeah stuff going to be rescheduled for 2021, or do you know?
Yes, because we were actually going through Live Nation for that Hell Yeah run, and they rescheduled all their stuff for 2021. So
yeah, a lot. That's so bad. That's what's been happening to those big companies. They're getting absolutely massacred with this live music being completely shut off. It's starting to open up. The encouraging thing is, we had Kenny on last week, and he told me that it was encouraging. People are wanting to get out again, and people are chomping at the bit. So I imagine when you guys do hit the stage again, you're going to have a fucking army of people there ready to tear shit up.
I'm hoping so.
I hope so. Yeah,
I'm hoping so. And as far as right now, it's our own local stuff. There's one show a year that Saul takes care of in-house that STG, the management, nobody takes care of. So that's September 5th in Sutherland, Iowa, for the official Saul Day that we be declared for our small town. So that's the one we get
September 5th. How far are you guys from Wichita? How far is where that's going on from Wichita?
7 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
7 hours.
Catch a ride with Chris Dawson. He's got to come.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have one mandatory meeting where management and Saul has to get together.
Yeah.
You have to coerce him out of the laboratory.
Right. That's clacking away.
How many times did we drive down to Dawson's this year?
Oh, I think we actually just got home one day and turned around and went right back the next day. That's not even a joke.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't recording that guitar track. You forgot to hit record. My bad.
It wasn't far off of that. Believe it or not, it was not Dawson's fault though. So.
No, I wouldn't imagine that it was, Zach.
I still blame the shit out of him for that, though.
Me too.
I don't care what you got to do. Just put it together. We're already home.
Just cut it and paste it.
So
7 hour shift. Yes, it looks like Shannon's going. I think Adam Schmidt's going to go. I think there's quite a few people from Wichita from going, so maybe I'll have to put together an army of equals from here.
A caravan.
Come up there and tear that shit up.
Yep, I'm sure Adam Schmidt will come up too. You know Adam. Yeah. So,
I'll come up there and tear my ACL in the pit. I'm almost 40 years. I'm almost 40 years old. But when you get into that intro of Trial by Fire, baby.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my shirt off. Dude. I'm gonna be all sweaty and
old. And it's time to pay for a medical bill after that. That's great, Dusty.
Yeah.
I blew my ACL at the Saul show.
Shoot, yeah.
Souther Slam.
Southern Slam.
That's it.
Oh,
Southern Slam.
That's it. I love it.
There it goes, man.
On September 5th.
September 5th. I got to get
it. So tell the people listening how they can connect with Saul.
The easiest way is saulofficial.com. I say that's the easiest way because it has all our platforms right there on the top header. So if you want to connect with us on Twitter, it's Saul Official, Facebook Saul Band. I got a pee so bad, dude. I can't even think about what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here dancing.
We'll talk to Zach about some technical stuff if you really need to go up and go pee-pee. It's okay. I got up and got a beer last week. Don't feel bad.
All right, yeah. Blake's got a tinkle. So what?
So where were we at before Squirrel Bladder had to leave the show?
The funny thing is,
anybody remember where we were at?
I just sat here and pissed myself.
So did I. I've been doing it the whole time. It's like the pool.
Am I the only one who took a piss before this shit started? Jeez.
Yeah. You go on vacation and you stay at an all inclusive or something, and you're sitting at the swim up bar for like 6 hours talking to this dude.
Oh, well, you're just full of margarita then. I mean,
and then you think about it, and you're like, that dude hasn't got up once.
So what were we trying to talk about? Just promoting Saul or what?
He was. I was just asking him how our listeners can connect with Saul if they're not familiar with you. I mean, you're easy to find, but just for due diligence.
Saulofficial.com.
Okay, saulofficial.com. Guys, go check it out. All their content is amazing. Amazing videos, amazing music. Great guys. They've been nothing but generous to come on the show. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, definitely check that out. Sprout, what's going on with King Shifter?
King Shifter is back, as many people know, and I'm going to be jamming with. I'm jamming. He sure did. I'm going to be jamming with them soon. We're going to be in a jam room together soon, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
Right. Have they been sending you any? Have they sent you any demos or anything to work on, or are you guys just going to get together and jam?
We're just going to get together in the jam room. I know. Since Kink knows when I'm coming, he said, "Oh, all right, I'll try and have something."
Yeah, so
we're like, all right, cool.
My guess.
I don't care if we play old shit for a week. I don't care. So, as long as we get together and jam, man, I miss my bros.
Yeah, July 11th, man. I have a show July 11th, and I'm nervous for that show. Like I was nervous for my first show ever. I kind of
you've done this a million times.
I know, but I like you. You know, when you're playing a lot, you keep your chops up and you kind of keep keep show ready. You're kind of galvanized to it,
right?
And you feel like you can get in your groove quicker, and you don't have to force it as much. And I'm interested to see how it's going to be when I get back out there, if anyone's actually there, or if I'm going to.
What helps me with that, Dusty? just straight up play for people that hate you. That gets me like right through everything, you know. You already know not to worry about what these fools say in front of you, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Well, that
when people happen to enjoy it's the equivalent of picturing the audience in their underwear. That's basically all it is.
I've really tried that sometimes, but for the most part, the thing that helps me is, you know, like a beer and a shot of whiskey. Go outside, talk a little shit out in the parking lot, go in there and just
random erections. I can't fucking picture anybody naked in on stage. No, I just can't fucking do that. Well, awesome. I mean, I used to free ball on stage, and I quit doing that shit back in 2009, perhaps. No, wait, 2010.
You heard it here first, folks.
I quit free balling on stage. I played this show in Salina, Kansas, and I never buy any new clothes. I just wear shit until it dies. And I had this pair of jeans, and on my way there, the crotch ripped at the seams. So I go inside the bar, and I talk to the bartender, Tizzy, and I go, "Hey, you got any duct tape?" She's like, "Yeah." So I got this duct tape. So I duct taped the inside of my jeans and the outside together, you know, adhesive side together, so I wouldn't get my pubes caught in the shit, because adhesive in the pubes blows. All right, don't ask. But but anyway, I'm on stage and I'm getting down, and I'm not even caring about anything. You're just entranced, and all of a sudden, I just feel this breeze on my dick. And I'm looking around. The audience is just looking at me. The chicks are all like, "Oh my god!" And the dudes are like, "Fuck, Sprout." And then I look down. There's my dick hanging out. My pants ripped even worse.
I love it.
So I looked at the bartender, and I was like, "Tizzy, could you please throw me a towel?" I had 2 songs left at the end of the set. I just tucked that towel in my belt, you know what I'm saying, to kind of cover up the front. That shit didn't work. My dick was just flipping that towel up. I was just like, fuck it. Sometimes musicians have nightmares about that kind of shit. But when it really happens to you, it's just like, what's the worst that could happen after this?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to have to worry about that happening to me.
No, so I wear draws. I wear draws on stage now. I wear draws. For real, I wear draws on stage, man.
That's good. That's good. I don't think I can do any better than that one.
That was good. Damn.
Shit.
All right. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming on the show. It was a great opportunity to have you guys on. I'm a big fan of what you guys have been doing.
We're just super excited to be getting back out and playing in front of people again. So nothing against the live feeds that we do for shows, but it's just not the same.
It's not the same. No way.
So
you don't get the full effect.
Yes. No. You get done with the song, and normally you're expecting like a woo or whatever. It's like crickets.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, next song, I guess. But super excited to be getting back out there. The new single is coming a lot faster than you'd think.
Awesome.
So
okay.
Keep your ear to the ground. And then I'm just so excited.
Me too.
All right.
You know what to do, Sprout.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity with this as well.
Yeah,
you're welcome, fellas. Anytime. Come back anytime.
If you want to come on and talk trash or promote anything or whatever, you know, just let us know.
Open door policy.
You guys are always welcome. Just let us know next time. Yeah, if one of you guys is tracking next time you're in Wichita and one of you guys wants to come in studio and talk trash while the other person works, you guys are always welcome to swing out. Just let me know.
I dig that.
All right.
I dig that. Yeah.
All right. And thank all of you guys for tuning into the Sprout and Dusty show. Yo, FatKid, drop that beat.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought in a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the ball can be placed on my arms. To this playful assault, to this race in this arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death or water left with